Hey, I'm here at the 2012 Lancaster Archery Classic, and I'm with Eric Griggs. Eric, what got you started in archery?
I actually started in archery. It was my dad that got me involved. My dad, when he was younger, when he was a teenager, this was back in the, I guess it'd be like in the 50s.
Right.
He shot back in the days of Fred Bear and NFAA and just recurve bows. He was digging around underneath the garage, the stairs, and one day he was getting all this old equipment. He had Bear arrows, Grayling, Michigan.
Yeah.
I mean, these old wooden arrows, boxes of arrows, young feather burners, Kodiak special bows, and he's getting all this stuff. And I'm, archery. That's pretty cool. I'm thinking I'm about 12 or 13 years old, and that's really neat. So he looked up in the paper and he saw an ad for a local 3D tournament. He didn't have any idea what 3D was. I didn't, but we showed up. It was a local place in Claremont, New Hampshire, and so we showed up, and archery had changed immensely from like the days that he did it.
Right.
And it wasn't a week later we went to a local archery shop, and he had bought himself a bow and arrows release and bought me the same. So
no kidding.
It was fun. I mean, that's how I got started, and I'll be honest with you, I stunk in the beginning. I mean, I was horrible. I mean, it was not just like, okay, well, this kid just needs to practice. I mean, I didn't have a clue, but
right.
I think that the archery being such an individual sport, I played team sports in high school, and I enjoyed sports in general and always been kind of a sport nut, but just the individual aspect of archery, being that it had all to do with your performance and nobody else's. It's not like, you weren't sitting there, while your teammate was shooting free throws at the end of the game or something like that. It was just, it all had to do with you. It just gave me a lot of drive to want to, to go further, to succeed. And, I was able to be successful as a youth, and then a little bit as an amateur, and then, to the level, as a professional today. So
where everybody's striving to be.
Yeah,
so, I mean, you've obviously worked extremely hard to get there.
Yeah. It wasn't like I just picked up archery one day and wham, all of a sudden I was pretty successful. I mean, I went from going to just local everyday shoots to being the kid that finished last to on up to where I was able to have some little bit of success at the sport.
Yeah.
So
heck yeah. Do you have any tips you can give people that are looking to elevate their game? They're looking to get to where you guys are. Do you have anything that you can give them that might help them get there?
Learn to shoot the release the right way. And when I say the right way, I don't just mean, the textbook, release execution or, not, with target panic or not having target panic. But learn different styles to shoot a release and learn what's going to work the best for you. Learn yourself, because what happens is that from one day to the next, the situation always changes.
Right.
From one day in practice to the tournament to the next day in the tournament, your body changes. What you ate for breakfast that morning. What you're feeling that day. There's so many different things that can happen that you have to be able to adapt.
Okay.
You have to be able to figure out more than one way to basically get that release to fire. Because if you're going down that road and you're in a little bit of a funk that day and things just aren't working, you have to be able to adapt to figure out, how can I make minor changes in my game to get me through the day to still be successful. I think one thing you'll find with a lot of these guys out here is that as much as they try to do everything consistently, as I do as well, there's certain days that you're going to find that everything's not working just the way that you want, but you still got to find a way to get through the day. You got to find a way to survive, and by having a good consistent form and good shot execution with a release is great, but having the ability to adapt on those given days, I think gets you that gets you kind of over the hump.
Well, good deal. Well, sir, I appreciate your time.
Yes, thank you.